create something funny during this pandemic to help people get a laugh. So we started this story called The Bees of the Pandemic, where teachers are going to act out student stories. We just want to caution you, this is a no budget film, first take only.
What we did is we asked a bunch of seniors, juniors, sophomores to just add on to a prompt that Mrs. Kent gave to everybody. And so what we did was they were given that prompt, and then one at a time they added to the story, and then we decided in our infinite acting abilities to act out each part of the story as it was written originally.
As said, low budget for sure. What you can do if you want to help participate, contact Mrs. Kent, and she will be able to let you participate with that. We'd be more than happy to have y'all.
Welcome to our high school edition of Storytime. This story is brought to you and written by the Bees of the Pandemic of Box Elder High School. Let's get started. Once upon a time, a great pandemic washed over the land of Box Elder. The people were put into quarantine. They band together and they called themselves the Bees of the Pandemic.
The Bees of the Pandemic had some very odd things happen to them during quarantine.
For example, Lance Smith became the new Batman, and Mrs. Kent learned how to use TikTok and gained followers faster than Taiba Official.
Perhaps one of the most odd things was that the entire senior class stopped sleeping, and anybody else that happened to catch a wink of sleep saw something very strange in their dreams.
For instance, one man, who shall remain nameless, saw a dummy thick bird perched up on the top of an elder tree. The bird turned to the man, opened his beak, and said,
"Gotcha," which was really strange because nobody felt as though they were trapped.
Gotcha.
Just then, a radioactive bee stung the man in the arm.
I'm gonna sting that guy.
Ow, I got stung.
The man started spasming and the thick bird was shook. The thick bird, after close examination of the flailing body, saw a bump just growing under the skin of the man's left calf. It kept growing to the size of a large watermelon. Just then, a blood-curdling sound of flesh exploding revealed a small baby that was just birthed by the man's calf. The only problem was, the baby looked somewhat like a...
Ow, my leg really hurts.
Italian plumber with a mustache. It appears as if he were the lost third brother of the Mario Bros. But this one had a devilish look in his eyes.
The man awoke in a cold sweat, but started to see the thick bird and the lost Mario brother everywhere he went. He knew there was only one person who could save the county from the evil plans these two were cooking up for Box Elder.
Oh, that was awful, that dream. What in the... Go. Whoa! All right, so really, I think what we should do is we should try and change how it is that we're going to teach the class just a little bit. I think we can do that just to help these students out.
I agree.
I think that'll be really...
I think that's...
Okay, go.
All right, guys, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be learning about the derivative of, like, the sine of x. That is...
It's me, Mario. Mario!
What the bleep is happening here?
The end.
Just kidding, that's not the end. In fact, stay tuned next week to find out who the man is and how he can save Box Elder.